Welcome to the PDX Files. Each week we dive into the weird and the unexplained here in the Pacific Northwest and beyond. My name is Peach.
And I'm Mac.
And Mac, you can probably hear the helicopter that's in my background right now. That's that's flying over South Waterfront where,
It's the war-ravaged waterfront. Yes. Yeah, I think, we've definitely been hearing that for a long, long time.
Anyway, what are we talking about tonight?
Well, we're going to get into a little bit of the Freemasonry and something that I don't know much about, to be honest. I've kind of looked into it occasionally to sort of figure out a little bit about it, but I mean, it's a big part of our country's history and pastime. Our leaders have been involved in it. I was actually surprised. I was listening to the morning news because I'm old now. We get up now, we go on walks, and I listen to the morning news. And they were talking about Oregon and the Freemasons doing something. It was actually pretty cool. I remember something to do with kids, and it wasn't Epstein. It was like a good thing. But there is this Freemasonry, this whole sort of like, veil of mystery behind kind of what it is that they do, and the occultism that they might be involved in. So we're going to dive into that. And just as a precursor to this, I've only looked at the timestamps again on this one, so we're going to be reacting in the same way to this video.
All right. Well, the last time I heard about the Freemasons was in the Da Vinci Code, if you remember that from a long time ago. So
Tom Hanks.
So I'm definitely interested in finding out what this is all about. Here we go.
Yeah.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society. And we are, as a people, inherently and historically opposed to secret societies, to secret oaths, and to secret proceedings. For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies primarily on covert means. I am asking your help in the tremendous task of informing and alerting the American people.
33rd degree members of the secret order of Freemasons.
53rd? Jesus.
Freemasonry believes in brotherly love, relief, and truth as a way to make good men better.
The main premise is we're all equal. It's as simple as that. Yes, there will be people who do different roles, but fundamentally, we are all the same.
In all Masonic lodges, signs and symbols are everywhere.
They help you reflect and realize or fully understand what's right from wrong, to be charitable and mindful of the needs of others.
In the lodge, a rough stone known as an ashlar represents yet unformed.
So when we have taken the rough stone and educated and polished it up, we end up with a perfect stone, and that's what we hope all the brethren will become.
So they're not actually building walls, which is when I first heard about that as a kid, I thought, oh, these guys are just out there building walls and bricks, and that's amazing. No, it's some weird ass shit that just sounded like some weird ass shit right there.
Right.
Like they're all equal. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not so sure about that.
There was
and what's that supposed to be, like a fucking sugar cube? No, it's weird already. It's weird. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, masonry is what you're thinking about, not Freemasonry. So
Right. Yeah. But what does that mean? Is like they don't have to be part of a union kind of Masons, or
there's no entrance fee. I mean, I think it's more about just, hey, we're all equal here. Right. Yeah. Let's continue.
According to the American esoteric scholar and 33rd degree Mason, Manly P. Hall,
33rd.
Freemasonry is a fraternity within a fraternity, an outer organization concealing an inner brotherhood of the elect. That certainly sounds a little Illuminati-ish. Hall adds that the visible society is a splendid camaraderie of free and accepted men, enjoin to devote themselves to ethical,
Those Asian.
educational, fraternal,
Gay.
and humanitarian concerns. The Invisible Society is a secret and most august fraternity whose members are dedicated to the service of a mysterious Arcanum Arcanorum, the secret of secrets. Yet another Masonic scholar, the 19th century American Albert Pike, pronounced Masonry a search for the light that led back to the occult mysteries of the ancient Jewish tradition of Kabbalah. In turn, Kabbalah connected Freemasonry to Hermeticism, alchemy, and the anti-papal thinkers of the Middle Ages. Did he include among those anti-papal thinkers the notorious Knights Templar and the heretical Cathars? No Mason is required to go any further than Freemasonry's 3 craft or blue degrees: entered apprentice, fellow craft, and master. Higher degrees are bestowed by so-called rights. They're mostly regarded as purely honorary or ornamental. If you imagine the craft degrees as Cub Scout, Boy Scout, and Eagle Scout,
That's what I was thinking.
degrees are like merit badges an Eagle Scout earns to distinguish himself.
Oh, that's so lame.
Rights and their higher degrees are speculative or esoteric Masonry. This is where the mystical and occult doctrines Pike mentions really come into play. Over time, there have been about 20 Masonic rites. The best known are the Scottish Rite and the York Rite. But the rites aren't under any authority or any grand lodge. Thus, the higher rites can pretty much do and believe whatever they want. The number of additional degrees offered by the rites varies widely. The Scottish Rite, for example, goes up to 33 degrees. Pike argued that all divine intelligence, gods, angels, and the like, were divided into 2 principles of good and evil, light and darkness. To Pike, Freemasonry was the successor or revival of the ancient mystery cults. But he viewed regular Blue Lodge Freemasonry as merely the entrance to the temple. Pike's esoteric ideas weren't intended for ordinary Masons. Most brethren are probably unaware of them. Indeed, nothing in his book, Morals and Dogma, was sacramental or obligatory. It was merely Pike's learned opinion. Still, as commander of the Supreme Council of the Masonic Scottish Rite, Pike wasn't without influence.
I don't understand a word they just said, to be honest with you. That sounds like a bunch of bullshit. The thing that made the most sense is when they were talking about it being like the Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts. And I remember, at least for my family, we've been reached out to previously, like getting my younger son, into the Boy Scouts. I'm like, fuck that. No. It's weird. I remember my adopted dad wanted me to get into that shit. I was like, I'm not getting into that. That sounds like a bunch of crazy shit. Like, I'm not interested. Thank you. And, the 33rd and the 53rd and the 23rd. I mean, it sounds like some sort of fake karate school so far is what it sounds like to me. And I don't know. That's just some weird stuff, man.
Yeah. I mean, it's a secret society, like it says. And I think it's still not clear to me what they really are trying to do. Is it like maybe
trying to do? Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
I mean, the only thing that I can think of is that it's like, okay, so the Freemasons are about gathering maybe people who are either already powerful or are on the path to power, and so this is their secret way of honing them into certain type of thinking that they will then carry to those roles. That's outside of the Freemason, and they could be in government, they could be in healthcare, they could be in any industry, right? And so it's a way to like control, maybe assume control. I mean, this is probably why that was the freaking Da Vinci Code book was. I mean, like the Freemasons were ripe for ripe for storytelling in that sense. And just out of curiosity, I was trying to figure out what the 33 meaning was in numerology, because there were 33 pages, right? So in numerology, 33 is known as the master teacher and symbolizes spiritual wisdom, compassion, and selflessness, embodying the highest spiritual consciousness. Obviously, that's got a lot to do with what I feel like that's what Freemasons stand for. And I think you're frozen again. Or maybe I'm frozen on your end.
Yeah, you're frozen, but I heard enough of that. I think I understand what you were saying. I don't understand why my internet connection is so bad. Right, it's like really weird. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting the numerology. I was thinking about that as well. And there are certain numbers and and math and science that kind of make a difference. And certain multiples of and things like that. But it's weird to me that I'm still not quite clear as to how that has to do, like, you have to be, is it like they're masoning themselves or others into this perfect cube to sort of fit into like this weird pyramid eye thing that they got going on, the all-seeing eye. Like, there's a lots of weird imagery that's still in today's society that people don't even realize. Probably most people, if you ask them, like, what's that shit on the back of the dollar bill? It was like, oh, that's just some Egypt thing going on. And actually, there's a lot of connections to ancient Egypt with the Freemasons and their way of thinking. It's like a really weird dynamic at the end of the day.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I think these people were just trying to find a reason to spice up their normal, boring lives. And so
Gay, yeah,
could.
they got a seat, like, they was like, "The Pope's got this seat, well, let's just do our thing, we can feel up each other on this other seat over here with
Yeah.
the all-seeing eye, we're good to go."
They were like, hey, let's start the Freemasons after that. All right, here we go.
With George Washington as president and Freemason, the secret society grew more public, gaining membership, power, and influence throughout the young United States.
Freemasonry became very popular, and as a result of that, some people started questioning, said, what is happening here? It seems like everywhere you turn, you find a Mason. Are these guys taking over the country? Do they have their own secret plot or something?
Is that good old George?
Yeah, there he is. There's the all-seeing eye.
In 1798, in America, a shocking book appeared that claimed the French Revolution and
A number of people begin to raise fears that the Illuminati have come to America, that they're also trying to create that same sort of thing.
George Washington was both president and the country's most famous Freemason. If the country believed the Freemasons were corrupt, the government might collapse.
George Washington receives letters from important people in American society asking him to declare that he is not a Freemason. And George Washington replies, sort of, I'm not now and never have been a member of the Illuminati. And he doesn't denounce Freemasonry.
Smart.
His position of power and influence was about to end with a crime and a cover-up.
Never to reveal our secrets, under no less a penalty than my throat be cut across.
The Freemasons might have disappeared from America in the wake of what was known as the Morgan Affair. But the Freemasons would rise again, propelled by a mysterious, charismatic leader who would transform the fraternity.
I mean, just look at that shit right there, that screen. Light bearer, spirit of darkness, Lucifer, light. It's all this crazy stuff, man. It's like he couldn't go to sleep one night, and he got drunk. Apparently, had some really bad mead or something. And look at all that nonsense. It's like, these are the kind of people who are still influencing our civilization today.
Yeah.
Even. And it's kind of scary to think about that. It's like there's this whole weird occult kind of thing that goes on, and a lot of symbolism within Washington D.C. and like other places, and it's been propagated and sort of twisted and turned and like other places without within the U.S. And it's weird. It's like they tried to put this separation of church and state, and yet they had all this weird stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Even look up there at the very top is evil is the personification of atheism.
Yeah.
and yet they were trying to have a separation of church and state, and these particular mindsets were going on in very early in our society. So I can see why we're all left up. You know,
Yeah.
our parents are pretty fucked up, I guess.
Yeah, and it's playing out probably in plain sight, right? Because you've got the secret society that's potentially helping to shape things behind the scenes.
Yep.
And then certain triggers are pulled at certain times, whether they be, I don't know, elections or whatnot, and bills passing versus not passing here in the U.S. Um, and God knows what the hell's happening. Actually, is this just a U.S. thing? The Freemasons?
I mean, I think that I'm not sure about that. It could be. I feel like it's more U.S. based. It maybe it started as something else in Europe, and probably because I mean,
yeah,
in those days they were trying to like be cool, like yeah, we're like separatists, but we still like some of the cool European stuff. I have a feeling that it didn't just like originate here.
no, yeah, you are correct. It actually started in the 14th century in
Yeah,
the UK, in
yeah,
England.
makes sense. Makes
It
sense.
makes, I mean, yeah, it checks, as the kids say. All right,
Indeed.
let's go on.
And lead to charges that the Freemasons were secretly in league with the devil.
There you go.
Mark of the devil. Love it.
The candidate for entered apprentice stands behind the door, waiting to be summoned. He's blindfolded, and there's a noose around his neck with a length of rope trailing behind. His
Oh hell no!
exposed at the left breast, and his left pant leg rolled up. The doorkeeper raps 3 times.
Is it like a bicyclist in
Then
Portland?
the candidate desires to enter and obtain the privileges of Freemasonry. With that, the candidate is escorted into the lodge by the inner guard. The guard holds the tip of a dagger against the candidate's bare chest and asks if he feels anything.
Yay!
The candidate kneels before the head of the lodge, the worshipful master, and they engage in a ritual question and answer. He's led by the rope or cable tow to an altar with a Bible or other holy book. Standing with his heels together to form a square, the candidate now kneels. He places his right hand on the Bible and with his left presses the point of a compass against his chest. He swears to forever conceal and never reveal any of the secret arts, parts, or points of the hidden mysteries of Freemasonry.
Never to reveal our secrets, under no less a penalty than my throat be cut across, my tongue be torn out by its root, and that I be buried in sand, cable's length from shore.
The assembled brothers rise to give the sign of the entered apprentice. Right hand held palm down beneath the chin, with the elbows straight out. The master asks the candidate what he seeks. He replies, "The light." The master strikes his gavel, and the hood is removed.
Let the brother receive the light.
The master reminds him that he faces terrible retribution should he ever betray the organization's secrets. He is instructed that he must understand the importance of God, must be law-abiding, must abstain from political or religious discussion in the lodge, and must obey the master and other officers. He's again warned he must never reveal any secrets of the Brotherhood. Secrecy, if you haven't noticed, is a big deal.
I mean, yeah, because they're engaging in all sorts of weird ass shit behind the scenes. Clearly, a lot of BDSM.
Oh yeah, I became a master mason. I mean, the highest you can go is 33rd, but even at 32nd, see from the ranks of 30th to 33, which is 3, that's when they divulge the actual truth to you. I got you. You know, which they
Forget
have
about it.
darkness all those years, and then once you start climbing up the rituals and the phases, and you go up the ranks, the degrees, and they expose everything to you at the 30th to the 33, you know, you're done. You're selling yourself to the devil at that point. And then
What?
that you're sworn to secrecy. Yeah, you sworn never to divulge any information, but to always protect and help your fellow brother. That's it.
That sounds like the mafia.
In other words, like you almost have to, kind of like the way we have to be reborn. Yes, they're making a mockery out of baptism. Right, and it's actually reversed. And you know what? The devil works like that because so if we have to be reborn, they pretty much say you have to die first. You have to die kill yourself for the devil. Yeah.
That's some weird ass shit.
Ultimate goal is pretty much one world order, one world religion, and one world currency. Yep. To eventually rule the world. Rule the world, right. Which is to usher in also the Antichrist. The Antichrist, mark of the beast, and so Mark of the beast, right.
That took a kind of weird turn. Yeah, that was weird.
I mean, that's literally the the book of Revelation kind of like is what this guy's saying that the Freemasons are trying to usher.
Yeah, and have been, as you said, since the the 15th, the 16, would it be the 1600s or the
14th
1500s?
century.
Yeah, so there's the 1500s and that, but because that's the 14th century. But
Yeah.
that is disturbing. And again, that's kind of weird. It's like I'm not going to be a part of a weird ass ritual like that. I'll tell you that right now. They're just going to call some dude the master. Who's got a noose around my neck and he's like sticking the sword in my chest. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah,
It's
and for what?
I think I'll just step out the back here.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
It's I don't know if they're going to go get into it in this last part of the video, but like, what's in it for them? What's in it for this guy? What was in it for this guy? I wonder.
Well, I mean, again, I think it's like being a part of the Boy Scouts. I got another badge. I'm level 17 now. It's like,
Oh Jesus!
One of my friends likes to play Pokemon Go. It's like, oh, I've leveled up. It's the same. It's like the same kind of thing. It's like, oh, this is cool. I'm accepted by some group, right? And there's an incentive to do this and that or the other thing. But the danger with this group is that they were all really rich and powerful. And so they really believed in their like innate right based on whatever level they were within the Freemasons. Our founding fathers, for instance, were like propagating this bullshit. And so, I mean, that's why we're so, in a lot of ways, wrapped in mystery. The birth of our country, and the reason why, it leads you to sort of question some of that kind of stuff. But certainly, like, we got modern day people like this, like fucking Goomba right here. At least we believe that they're not as powerful as maybe they once were.
Well, I mean, I feel like if it'd be cool if it like gave you, like, if you were in Freemason and you got these awesome discounts or something, like like if we go to Olive Garden, you get the beyond the unlimited.
You flash your card, you get 15% off at Jamba Juice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I think that might be worth
it.
All right, let's finish this up.
All right.
You have to be a master mason before you become anything else.
Yeah.
Depending on your upward mobility.
Yeah, see.
And in rituals, the quicker you get them done, the quicker things are revealed to you. But like I said, you could go as high as you want. If you got money, you could buy your way up.
There you go.
Honorary. Oh yeah, you talking about those the Illuminati.
Illuminati, okay. So
right.
This has to do with them.
Oh yeah, you have to be a Freemason to be that. All the presidents were Freemasons. But see, if you start exposing them, they'll go after you. They'll go after your family. They'll try to kill you because
it's the mafia, like you said.
Hey, yous.
The government.
What are you doing?
To these people, right?
So on the screen, real quick, it says the greatest trick the devil ever played was convincing the world that he did not exist.
Interesting. And true. Hey-oh. They all say aye.
In Hollywood,
Beyonce.
If you're in the industry, the devil, they like Illuminati, all that shit, they try to get you. Especially when you got a big influence, you around that shit.
Around Hollywood, a lot of people come up missing. Feels like it might be a lot of that in order to control, traumatize. They want to monetize and traumatize.
They're fleshly vessels. There are compartmentalized. They're like shattered. They shatter their brains, and it's just like MK Ultra, right? They use MK Ultra to break the minds of people, and then they mold them the way that they want them to go.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I mean? Or satanic ritual abuse. That all comes together with the Freemasons.
So how does this guy
Whether
feel?
or not you believe in the New World Order and this conspiracy among
I mean, I kind of somehow believe him. I don't know
deny that there are
why.
millions of Freemasons around the world, many of them powerful and historically have been involved in criminal activity, corruption, and cover ups. But what I can say for certain is that where there is secrecy, there is conspiracy. And the agendas that once remained hidden are getting harder to conceal as the public
Is
continues
this my
to ask
pillow
questions
guy?
about who truly runs the world that we live in.
Yeah, it's almost like there's, the government is kind of like the face that's palatable to the masses, right? And then behind the scenes, even deeper than the behind the scenes in Washington are potentially secret societies like the Freemasons that are actually controlling the world.
The idea of these frat bros and girls and sorority girls who grow up with a lot of money and power who cannot believe that this is kind of their inherited right,
Right.
which goes way back to the aristocracy and the feudal societies that we've had in the past, and we're kind of seeing a lot of the replay of that happening today. But I mean, just look at this video, like how weird you have to be. Like if you're a normal person, like do you really want to be involved in this weird ritual and like this weird thing? You gotta level up. And again, it reminds me a lot of being a Pokemon and the whole thing of like, well, I've leveled up my creature to this level. I should be able to do this. How can I capture that? I'm gonna, conquer this. And I think that's how they think because they don't know any other way.
I think so.
And so,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I think and actually, I was wondering why that guy who allegedly was former Freemason is talking now. Like, shouldn't he be still, scared that they would go after him?
I would be, and he looks like a garbage guy. He's like driving a garbage truck, but that's fine. Again, I think there are some similarities in what they're talking about. Like I said, mafia earlier is like there's their ritual to become a made man within that society, and the same types of ideals of like secrecy and loyalty and these types of things and privilege to a certain extent. And like it's a very weird kind of like so like a through line between those two. And so I think obviously with the the mafia, they're engaging in explicit illegal activities, but also today a lot of politicians who may be involved in the Freemasons probably involved in some illicit activities as well, and they just have to accept that. I think a lot of people know that, and that's why people don't trust the government today. But it's such a weird thing that it's still going on today, and the fact that that Goomba, it must have been like not that long ago that he was talking about it. I mean, I tend to believe what he's saying. It didn't seem like he was lying to me. It just seems like he was an idiot.
Well, this video was from 1 year ago, so we'll have to do some research whether that guy was still alive. And honestly,
I hope he is.
Folks, if this is our last video, you know that you can probably think that the Illuminati got to us or the Freemasons, whoever got to us first. Well, if you enjoy this content, please give it a like and share it across your socials to help get the word out about our show. If you hadn't already done so, please subscribe. And on YouTube, hit that notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on future episodes. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.